First opened back in 1975, there's a look inside the iconic Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. The setting in this dome just serves to amplify the excitement of the folks in New Orleans as their Saints burst from the tunnel a moment ago. They're set, and we're set as well as the Saints get ready to do battle with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now. On the ball. Hey, slow down.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
But, has that changed in a big way? The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, the free safety was there, no gain.
Lefty. Grade 15. That's it. Black, come on.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Picked off by a former first-round pick, Patrick Robinson. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, right? Because I'm not always skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape. What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They run again with Ajayi. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. The connection here with Nelson Agholor. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Everyone's got 4. 4 down. Watch out. Easy. Hey, 2. 21. 11. What's that?
On 2nd down, here's Breeze. Now Breeze lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. He's going to launch he's got him in, complete. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Here we go. Get set.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go.
And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
They don't want it, fellas. They don't want it. Keep playing on.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Got it. 11.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, and he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Trey Hendrickson in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now a first carry for Daniel Pumphrey. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 5 yards gets him back near the original line of scrimmage as they'll be left with a 3rd and long.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now. Let's go. Greg. Shorty. Hey, big flag step. Shift. Lead. Greg.
From the gun, it's Wentz. Eluding the pressure right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Cameron Jordan able to run him down for a 15-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. The Eagles send out their punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Well, they know how to protect the pass, but sometimes cornerbacks, they can also stop the run, can't they?
Is that what we call a complete corner? Yeah, because we're so used to these guys just being defenders in the pass game. How about the guys who can come up and make the tackles? That's what we just saw there for no gain, too.
Going up top. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And some room to roam now. The 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time, decent field position through the pick-6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Ingram again, a first down carry. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Breeze to throw on second down. Now Breeze lost the football. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession. Well, call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
To throw is Breeze. He's going to let it. And got his man complete. They give him a gain of 38.
I know they had good coverage downfield, but you have to wonder, on 3rd and long like that, how does that happen that they can get that far downfield and complete a pass? You got to guard the sticks, understand where you are, so it's almost like someone fell asleep at the switch, and now that the play's been completed, they've got to dust themselves off on defense, pick it up, and figure out how to not let that happen again.
They'll run it now out of the gun, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go.
Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it.
Here we go.
That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Ready. Yellow lady. Set.
On 3rd and long, it's Breeze. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Here's Thomas Morstead now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. And out and out come the Eagles. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half. Maybe not so much in the 2nd half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Flushed out right. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Eagles on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7.
Grade 15.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And he has Carew. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. 23 yards on the play. 2 minutes to go here in the 1st half. We're back to New Orleans after this.
Let's go.
They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Big Sheldon Rankins there to bring him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Great.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call. On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Here's Ginn. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Here we go. Get set, get set, get set. 12, 12, 12.
Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Breeze. And the middle open is Thomas. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. That goes for a gain of 31. On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your...
Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas, as the first half is winding down. And the Saints are back within a score. Lutz with the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll begin the drive with a jive across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. They stay on the ground. Again, it's a jive. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Okay, well, so much for the halftime report here. Guy can't even finish his Snickers. We're going to get right to the third quarter. Let me spit this out. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Here's Breeze. Flush to his right. Now Breeze lost the football. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, two hands. Get two hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Let's go, let's go.
Now it's Ajayi. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Here's Ajayi. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. Just a yard, but that's all they needed. And by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Jay Ajayi, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles take advantage of good field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Elliott Good with a PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused.
Must have.
It had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You'd better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Here we go. Easy, kill. Okay. 21.
Now Breeze. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Ben Watson was the intended target, the tight end. And it'll bring up 3rd down. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. And Gibbs got it. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Breeze to another long-time vet, Ginn, for the New Orleans first.
Easy.
On 1st down, Breeze. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
95-56.
On second down, Ingram. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
From the gun on third down, Breeze. And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this will be taken at the 13. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Here's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he will take this down to the 10-yard line.
What part do they went empty set there? No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
The Eagles on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Wentz. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
On play action, it's Breeze. Alvin Kamara really settling into the league in his second season. And, of course, he came out of Tennessee, but not a lot of people remember he started at Alabama.
He did and got caught in that big mix of running backs at Bama. And they like those bigger, thicker runners, those guys who can break down defenses through the middle. Alvin Kamara ended up leaving Alabama, going to a junior college for a while. I believe he went to Hutchinson Junior College before matriculating at Tennessee and finding his way to the NFL, where he is now a star.
Now Breeze. He's going to wind up and air it out. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Saints have cut it back within a score. Looks good on the extra point. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try and play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man.
81.
On first down, Wentz. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Stephon Anthony coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Back now here live in New Orleans. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. The Eagles on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 11.
Great. Run.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Forced out to his left. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Derek Barnett able to get him for a loss of about 3. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. From the gun, it's Breeze. Room to run past midfield. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. First target, first catch, and a first down. Throwing now is Breeze. He gets it to Thomas. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On 2nd down, here's Breeze. He's going to float this one deep right side. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. Lux with the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This will be taken in at the 1. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. The 30, 10, 5, and he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Mike Wallace, 99 yards. And the Eagles have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. Elliott good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They go play action here on first down. Looking deep downfield. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on second down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
0-2.
On second down, Kamara. And a great move on the play as he takes this one past the 25. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that's going to make it fourth down. And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Fielded at the 20. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. They've got good starting field position as they come up here first and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Ajayi. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. On the stop, Stephon Anthony with a tackle.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
So forget the 3 and out. The penalty makes this first and 10. This is Ajayi. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. Now they go screen. It's complete. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. And the Saints signal for another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
82. Trey 15.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. And now here comes the third of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Steps away to his left. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this.
0-2. Check. You go 21.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. It was Josh Sweat who got him down on the defensive side. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down.
Easy. 12.
He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Partner, you absolutely cannot take a sack in that situation. Now, it's also 4th down.
So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down. Now Breeze got to have this one. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. They have the lead, still a one-possession game, but the defense got to stop. They've got the football now. Just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know they're over on the sidelines now starting to take their tape off and, hey, we've done this thing. The offense has to put it away, and that means ball security.
Absolutely. Stranger things have happened.
On the ball.
Wentz with a kneel down, and that will be the final act of this game.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one.